Must watch for all Turo hosts. I want to apologize in advance for my voice sounding the way it sounds. Congested. The allergies have been weighing in heavily on me, but the knowledge does not stop as we have an abundance of things to provide to everyone, whether it be Turo, military, and the list is on. So for this video, I want to cover delivering vehicles, trip protection plan, setting goals, finance or lease, and keeping your finances separate. First topic, let's go over delivering vehicles. So if you're already a Turo host, you'll know exactly what I'm saying, and the pain is something that everybody has to deal with, unfortunately, when it comes to being a Turo host. So if you have one vehicle, you're in luck, but once you start getting more cars added to your fleet and your second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth vehicles are in rotation, it's going to make it extremely hard for you to deliver these vehicles to your guests within a timely manner. So this is going to be the first, and this is going to be the most important thing as a Turo host, to ensure that every guest is being fulfilled in a timely manner. So first things first, if you're a brand new Turo host and you haven't had any type of guest booking your car yet, just understand that you will get the most traffic and traction whenever you decide to offer your car at your local airport. So if you're in LA, San Diego, Chicago, Charlotte, Miami, you're going to already understand that a lot of the times when guests book, when they type in their search box and they look for a car, they're going to look for the car that's at the airport or that can be delivered to the airport. Reason being is because it's a convenience thing. So with that being said, us as hosts, we have to figure out, okay, what's the fastest way and what's the easiest way for us to deliver these vehicles to this guest, while also, managing the rest of our fleet at the same time. My recommendation, number one recommendation that's been working for me, and it's been greatly convenient, is using outside shuttles and using outside parking lots. I'm not going to name any. I'm in the Charlotte area, so I go to the Charlotte Douglas Airport all the time. But for me, I always use outside parking lots. I book the shuttle for the guests. I send them the QR code. Once they arrive, I make it super plain. It's all the steps. It's like a 4 or 5 step process. As soon as they land, they go to zone 1, go to arrivals, look for the shuttle for the one that I booked. They show the shuttle driver, the QR code, where it's parked at, and they're on their way. So that's the number one recommendation that I will always recommend guests. This way, it alleviates you having to actually meet the guests. And then 2, you're able to put 3 or 4 vehicles into this parking spot, and it's easy. You know what I mean? It's simple, especially if you have Turo Go. If you have Turo Go, all you have to do is unlock it from the app once they get to the actual parking lot, so that way you have a peace of mind that your car is secure. So that's the number one thing. I will use a shuttle. Face-to-face is very time consuming, and when you start adding more cars to your fleet, you just won't have time. So the second thing, the trip protection plan. So I wrote down all the key points just so you guys can understand, if you haven't been hosting yet, what to expect from the trip protection plan. So you have the 75, 80, 85, and 90. I did not even include the 60 because if you're a Turo host and you do the 60 protection plan, you honestly just won't benefit much from it, because Turo is going to be taking so much money from you. They're taking 40% of your overall earnings that you could have possibly got. So let's just use, for example, a $300 trip total, right? If you have a $300 trip total, if you have the 90 trip protection plan, you will receive $270 out of that $300. If you have an 85 trip protection plan, you'll receive $255. If you have an 80 trip protection plan, you'll receive $240. And if you have a 75% trip protection plan, you'll earn $225. So the difference between the 90 and the 75 is going to be a $45 difference. Keep this in mind. So that's just using a $300 trip total as an example. If you have three $300 trip totals, the difference between the 90 and the 75 will be a $135 difference. Okay, so now what's the caveat? Caveat to it is, just in case anything may happen to your vehicle, if you have the 90 trip protection plan, you will have to come out of pocket because of the deductible. It'll be $2,500. If you have the 85 trip protection plan, you'll have to come out of pocket $1,625 for the deductible. If you have the 80 trip protection plan will be $750. And then the 75 trip protection plan will be $250. So as you can see, you going with a 60 trip protection plan is just not advisable, because $250 for a 75%, that's the lowest I would go. Only reason why is because us as the host, we have to do so much groundwork, and it's not rewarding enough for us to only receive 60% of the total cost, and Turo's getting 40%. I would not recommend that. I would definitely scratch that off if that's something that you're considering. I wouldn't do it, even for the most cautious individual. 60% is just not enough. We do all the work, so we deserve to get a little bit more in return. The only stipulation between the 75 amongst the 80, 85, and the 90 is that you will be covered $30 a day just in case your car is going for maintenance or for repairs. They will cover you for $30 a day if you have the 75 trip protection plan. If you have the 80 and above, you will not be covered, but I mean, you have more money in the front end, so it just depends on how you look at it. It's all about perspective. The 750,000 is across the board. So whether you have 60, 75, 80, 85, or 90, 750 for third-party incidentals is all going to be the same. So now, what is this? A lot of people will keep asking or wondering, what does this 750,000 cover? So it doesn't cover the actual guest with your vehicle. It covers third-party accidents. So let's just use as an example, your guest rents a vehicle. He hits a car. He hits a median. That means that in totality, the car that he hits, and as far as the median that guest may hit, knock on wood, I hope this does not relate to you, then that means that they will cover 750,000 of that grand total for the median repairs and things of that nature. So the more stuff that are involved in that accident that your guest is involved in, they'll be covered up until $750,000, which is a great thing. Aside from that, that is the trip protection plan, and this is what the trip protection plan consists of. If you have questions regarding the trip protection plan for anything that I may not have covered, please leave a comment below and I will expound on that some more, just so you can have a thorough understanding of what to expect with the trip protection plan.